Hello and welcome, dear viewer, to my channel. Today in our video, I will tell you what stories people have sent me in the mail. My husband thinks that sports betting is an investment. Lately, he's been borrowing money from his siblings and says it's for investments, which I later found out isn't true. I am a 30-year-old saleswoman with a steady income and good looks. I am 33 weeks pregnant and have a 7-year-old son. During my pregnancy, I noticed that my husband was betting on soccer games online. I secretly checked his phone, but I was told I was violating his privacy. He usually spends $405, which is no small amount. My family income is temporarily stable. I pay the mortgage and insurance for my family. At the beginning of my pregnancy, he still went out drinking with friends, but stopped when my belly got bigger. He often looks after me and our son. He talked me into selling the land my father and I owned to pay off the bank debts instead of working to pay them off. In the meantime, I'm always looking for ways to increase my income and work different jobs. Right now, I'm deciding between two options. Option 1. When I have a baby and save enough money, I'll find a new place to live and file for divorce. My earnings are enough to support both children. I also have my own property worth about $48,400. Second option, I will discuss the matter with my husband and his family, as he believes that betting on sports is an investment, not a social evil. I am 29 years old and the youngest in a traditional family. My mother and 4 sisters didn't have sex before marriage. However, I let that happen out of the blue with my boyfriend when I was in my 3rd year at university. Later, we were all nervous and afraid of getting pregnant while we were still students. At the time, my partner said that if I'm pregnant, he would marry me. Fortunately, nothing happened. We broke up over a year later for different reasons. I want to make it clear that from the first time until the breakup, we only had sex a few more times since we were scared. He sincerely regretted it because he worried that I would be judged by society and my future husband. I didn't date anyone for over 2 years, partially because I hadn't forgotten my ex, and I was afraid that I didn't deserve the next boyfriend. I'm obsessed with the fact that I'm not a virgin. My male friends, who insisted on only marrying virgin women, mocked me. "We know you are no longer a virgin just by looking at your face." I thought I would be alone for the rest of my life since no one would accept me. Then I met a foreigner who is an Asian living in a country with a long history of Confucianism. He wanted to be my boyfriend, but I was scared he would be concerned about my virginity, so I always refused. I told him the truth when he asked why. He giggled and said that I was outdated. When I told my next boyfriend from Europe about it, he laughed as if I was an idiot. Since then, I have only dated foreigners to no longer be obsessed with my virginity. Of course, I don't think all Vietnamese care about it, but from what I've read, 4 out of 10 people will take it seriously, with one person who will probably say he doesn't care about it, but bring it up during a fight. If I'm in a relationship with people like that, it would be miserable and unfair for both of us. My solution is to select from the group of people that I'm 99.7% certainly don't care about virginity. Foreigners. I'm not saying men who value virginity are wrong, outdated, or bad. There's no such thing as right or wrong. It depends on each person's point of view, and it is tough to change that perception in a day or two. They must at least go through something to change their mind. I used to value virginity, but after going through all of this, I found myself doing what seemed right and comfortable, and taking responsibility for it. In fact, my decision to only get to know foreigners still poses great challenges like cultural differences, language barriers, and lifestyle. I'm not sure I'll be happy with my decision. There are many things I can change if I try hard enough, but I won't be able to change the fact that I'm no longer a virgin. I couldn't imagine my boyfriend or husband breaking up with me for this reason, and I'm preventing it before it happens. Even if I recover, the scars will remain. I wrote this so that others in similar situations can find a solution instead of worrying and hurting. Rich man in Vietnam or US? I'm an overseas student about to graduate from a university in the US, but have to return to Vietnam because of my visa. I also have a boyfriend who's 8 years older waiting for me at home. My boyfriend is in charge of his family business. He's mature and thoughtful, but he is a ladies' man. Many girls want him because he's rich. He wanted to marry me, and I believe it was because we haven't had sex until now. When I was still in Vietnam, he used to take me to fancy restaurants on a date and take me home to meet his parents. If I marry him, I may not have to worry about money, but I'm afraid he'll betray me. He has never let me take a look at his phone. He told me that I don't need to find a job when I return to Vietnam because he'll give me money monthly. His mother wants him to get married so that he can settle down. I'm not really happy while I'm with him. I only go out with him when he picks me up in a car, but refuse to go when he rides a motorbike. I think I only like him for his family wealth, but not his personality. He looks normal, is a little taller than me, but not a well-dressed man. In the US, I was pursued by an American of German origin. He is charming, attractive, and has a handsome face with a model-like appearance. Recently, he received his master's degree, but hasn't gotten a stable job. He is very sincere with me and didn't hide anything from me, as I can go through his phone. Even though his family is well off, he still has to make his own money by going to work. His parents' net worth is about $10 million. He has an older sister, but she only dates women. If I have a child with him, that will be their only grandchild. Being with him makes me happy because we are a well-matched couple, sharing the same interests like fine dining and traveling without limit. He gave me the freedom to do whatever I like. He said he'll make sure that I can stay in the US, and I can bring my parents there if I like. Poor sexual health complicates marriage. I am 30 years old and own a business. My sexual health is not good, something a doctor implied to me when I was little. My ex-girlfriend told me it was not a problem since I can use tools for support. I got prescribed medicine to use every time I had sex. With the medication, my sex life improved. However, the medicine's impact got weaker over time, so I had to change to another type, plus it also causes slightly uncomfortable side effects. Later, for some reason, my ex-girlfriend and I broke up, and I later met someone else. She is quite traditional and opposes having relations before marriage. Since I won't get the chance to test our sexual compatibility or determine whether the relationship will be problematic if the drug stops working, I'm not sure if I should stay in it. I intend to get married the following year if we do decide to stay together. Business in the past few years has been favorable, so I have saved $24,186, with the intention of using some of it for in vitro fertilization. When I last saw the doctor, my sperm count was low, and the remainder for my future marriage. I would like to ask readers, especially those who are in the same situation and who have experience in married life, can I manage my marriage if my sexual health is not so good? I daily suffer from my husband's toxic words. I've read many stories about married life and prepared myself before getting married, but reality is still so harsh. I've been married for nearly 8 months, but it's not a dream. I always treat him well, but I don't understand why my husband treats me so badly. I chose the cheapest package for our wedding photography because he said it was pointless. I also didn't dare choose a beautiful wedding dress because it was too expensive. And to make him feel comfortable, I even bought a cheap bed and wardrobe for our room. My family and neighbors put pressure on me after I got married. My husband told me to drink Chinese traditional medicine for great health, but I don't know why I gained weight unusually fast after doing that. He started calling me fat and ugly, and my mother-in-law compared me to a sumo wrestler. She said, "Look at yourself, you're twice as big as a normal person." I try to diet and exercise, but I don't want to lose much weight because I'm afraid it will affect my pregnancy. Those words hurt me deeply, although I wake up early every morning to prepare breakfast and lunch for my husband. I've never been disrespectful to my husband or his mother. I know I act like a child at times, but as long as he's sincere, I'll be obedient. However, he was constantly insulting me and my family with toxic words. He cursed at me for not being helpful as a wife. My husband believes that housework is a woman's responsibility. Otherwise, there's no point in getting married. I could only cry alone for many nights, but I suppressed my frustrations while attempting to balance work and life. I don't want my parents to think too much about it. He repeatedly threatened to punch me, break my teeth, and strangle me. He recently hurled a mobile phone at me. Whenever I want to buy a dress or something, I need to ask his permission even though the money is mine. He hasn't given me a dime to spend on family living expenses since we got married. When I mentioned it, he assumed I had something against him. I tried to forgive him, but his nature is difficult to change. He often curses and insults me badly during arguments. I asked my mother-in-law and husband permission to stay alone because I didn't know how much longer I could put up with my husband. He said he didn't hit me, but his toxic words were enough to kill. If I continue to live like this, there will be no meaning to life. I have always wanted a happy marriage. My husband doesn't need to be too rich. We just need to understand each other, watch movies, drink tea together, and travel to the places we like. But I didn't expect my marriage to be this terrible. I'm not sure how much longer I can put up with this marriage. I don't know if I can continue enduring my husband's toxic words. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video if you like it. Also put a bell so you don't miss new videos. See you soon.